Are you tired of scrolling through your Omnisphere over and over again, getting your wrist all hurt? I mean, you might be getting your wrist hurt from something else you've been doing as well. But if you are tired of the same sounds that you've been using in Omnisphere and the same sounds that you hear in every single trap record and R&B record and any record anywhere, everywhere, all over the world, everywhere, Omnisphere, 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 bro, you gotta get Omnisphere. Then you gotta try Reveal Sound Spire, and that's what today's plugin of the week is all about. Spire by Reveal Sound. Let's get right into it. Let's switch it up.
I just flipped the switch. I don't know.
Nepa.
Spire. To inspire all of your musical needs. All right, so this plugin is pretty basic, and it's actually a great plugin. It's very affordable. My favorite thing about this plugin is that Reveal Sound actually has like packs where you can add additional sounds. Anything from EDM to pop to synth wave to retro synth wave, all sorts of crazy stuff. But I want to give you just an overview real quick. I don't want to make this boring because this is Radium POW, right? And we want to keep this shit, lit. We want to be lit all the time. So I'm going to give you an overview. This is just kind of the main screen as you open it up. Like if you're in Logic, you just click the plugin, it's going to open it up and BDB bam. And you can click here. This will give you, this is brand new in 1.5. They've just updated the plugin within the month or two. And this is incredible. This is the browser, very clean. You can see the factory sounds, 940. It'll tell you exactly how many there are in each pack. I think this is just awesome. I love this. And then you go over here, you click on it one time, it's loaded up, and you can play it, right? And then you can just hit the down arrow. So I'm going to go through all these cool sounds later. I just wanted to show you just a quick way that the browser works. This is very basic, laid out nicely. And then there's user libraries, and this is where the expansions come in when you pay for the Reveal expansion packs, right? So I have a few in here. I have a retro synthwave. I got some pop stuff, Factory 5, whatever the hell that is, retro future, and then Spire synthwave volume 2. And then there's old project presets, which I have no idea what that is, but I'm assuming that if you're using like an older version of Spire and then you like had all these presets that you saved and then you upgraded to 1.5, those are probably going to end up there. So that's just kind of an overview there. To get back out of that, you just click right on the name again, and you're going to come to the main screen. Now I'm going to break down the main screen. Again, I don't want to bore you with this stuff, so I'm going to break this down quickly. You have 4 oscillators, really powerful plugin, right? From the oscillators, you can click, classic, noise, AM sync, saw wave, hard, vowels, all sorts of cool stuff there. It looks like you can also take the notes up by semitones, right? So you can actually hear that oscillator kind of like that background oscillator. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a really useful tool. And you can see the readout and everything. So pretty fun stuff. And then you got fine tuning, which I'm imagining is in Sense, right? And then you got a wet mix where you can bring everything wet, or you can, not. I don't know. Maybe it's wavetable mix. Not really sure. But then you have the wavetables, right? So it's probably wavetable mix. And this is really cool too. You got all these different wavetables, awesome stuff, organs, guitars, violins, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then we move over, and you can see the cool thing about this this layout is it's very visual. It's showing you the signal flow, right? So oscillator 1, it's starting. Oscillator 2, it's starting. 3, 4, right? And then you can see it goes into this signal path here, opens up into the detune, the density, the unison mode, where you can go to all the way up to 9 voices. What that sounds like is, here, I'll let you hear that. Now you're not really hearing much on this because the preset itself is not really using oscillator 1 too much. It's just kind of blended in. So I'd imagine that you're probably hearing more of oscillator 4 here. So just so you guys can see all that, right? You have all the oscillators. It goes to the detune, the density, the voices, and then you have all this stuff where you can add a major 7th, an octave, etc. So this is really powerful. And then you have the blending knobs up here where you're blending oscillator 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can use those to taste, right? So you can make and perform your own oscillators. Very analog thinking, but it's a very digital plugin. And then it goes into this wide where you can kind of widen out stuff. You got a filter input, you got a pan. I'm not really sure what this is, what Anna is, or invert, or the key, but you're just turning those on or off. Not really sure. It doesn't sound like it's doing anything with this preset. And then here, as you can see, the arrow, it goes into a little filter section, which is awesome, right? Filtering. You got all these different filter types: Perfecto, Shaper, Combo, Scorpio, Infecto, Acido. I don't know why they're like in Spanish, but who knows, you know? And then you can come in here and just kind of like add those different filters. You got a mode up here. You got mono, poly. If you're playing chords, right, you want polyphony on. You want to probably go to poly 1 or 2. If you're doing mono stuff with like basses and you only want one key playing at once, then you go 1, 2, or 3, or 4. I'm not sure what those are, what the differences are. This is where you pick the voices, where you can pick up to 16 voices. So this plugin is very much treated like an analog synth. If you ever work with an analog synth, they're usually either like polyphonic or paraphonic. I won't tell you what those terms are. You can look those up. But they're usually like an 8-voice polyphony, or there's like 16-voice polyphony is what you're going to get with analog synths. So this is very modeled. It's modeled after analog synths. That's the idea. It's very warm. Okay. And then we get into kind of the shaping stuff, all the effects section, which I think is like really fun to mess with. Here you have all the different like, this is like a saturation section where I love this stuff. Like you can do warm, hard, clipping, tube 1, 2, 3, decimate, you know, filter and decimate. And that's kind of a shape right here. So if you see up top here, this is where you're picking all these effects. So this is the shape, and I think of the shape as like my distortion algorithm, like pushing into tubes or pushing into and driving, you know, filter distortion, clip distortion, etc. So here's the drive knob. Here's the bit where you can take the bit depth down. So as I drive this, you can hear this organ kind of saturate. It's really cool. Some incredible, just right there with one part of the effects section, you can get incredible sound shaping, right? Because you're getting a ton of stuff here. You're getting the S rate, which is like the slew rate, I believe, and you're like kind of just decimating the signal. It's like breaking up. It's just going into abyss, right? Then you have bit, where you can basically bit depth, like you're going from 16-bit to, you know, 10 to 12 to whatever, right? Going all the way down, and that's going to bit crush is what we'd call that. With the slew rate and the bit crush, they kind of work together with the drive as well. And then here's where you get your dry wet. Like you heard when I was first doing it, you weren't hearing anything until you start pushing into that wet. And then you have high cut and low cut, and this is amazing. This is like actually filtering out the high and low after the fact that you've distorted. So I think that's super dope. So here you got a band and you got a high quality button. So I'd imagine like these are where you can like shift bands and stuff. And then this is where you're turning on like the quality of the actual distortion. So this is a really powerful section. I'm not going to go through every single one of these because, again, I don't want this to get too boring for you guys, and you can kind of figure this out yourself. But here's the stages. So you have different stages that you can go through of this, and this is going to be like spread. You can go in with the depth and the rate. And I think this is kind of like a phase shifter kind of vibe. This is a chorus here. So you're going to get feedback, wide, depth. You know, you got chorusing. Then you got delay, and you got reverb, right? So this is very basic stuff. Like you got the shape, which is going to be kind of your distortion and drive stuff. You got phase shifting stuff where you can do like vowels. And I'm imagining this works with like filtering stuff. It's going to shift the phase of everything. And then you got chorusing, delay, and reverb. And the way you want to bypass these is you just hit this mute part right here. So I don't want any chorusing, mute it. I don't want any phase. I don't want any distortion. I don't want any delay. But I do want reverb, right? That's how you go about it. And when you click on the tabs, you'll be able to adjust those things. And then with reverb, you got plate 1 and 2. Really, really basic stuff, but it sounds incredibly musical, which is kind of the purpose, right? And then down here, you get all your basics of what a synth is, right? Your ADSR, your attack, decay, sustain. I don't know what this is. Sit and S still, I don't know, whatever the fuck that is. And then you got the release, right? So here, this is where you're going to shift your envelopes. And you can do this with anything. You can do it with the LFOs. You can do it with the arpeggiator down here. Just a lot of powerful stuff. So you got envelope 1, envelope 3, 4. So this goes 1, 2, LFO 1, 2, and STP 1. Not sure what that is. Envelope 3, 4, LFO 3, 4, STP 2, and ARP. So I'm thinking like the STP is probably like a special kind of like a timing thing, right? Because this looks like it's doing a timing thing, and then this looks like it's an ARP, so it's a timing thing as well. So you can turn those on and off and kind of do some ARPs with stuff. Incredibly powerful. You don't need to use an external ARP, right? So arpeggiating right in there. Transposing over here, your pitch wheel, your mod wheel, all that stuff's very basic. And then you have these kind of like granular macro controls where you can have like mod 1 and assign them to different things, right? Like maybe you want mod 1 to like control like your phase and delay and reverb, and then you just want to like turn it all up at once. You know, this is a very EDM plugin. It's like I'm doing a sweep coming into a big break, and I want to have this macro set up, and then I want to assign it to my keyboard or my controller and just make something huge. Really fun to play with that, right? So that's kind of the basics of it. Now let's get into some of these presets, because this is kind of the fun stuff, right? So the first thing I'm going to show you is the factory sounds. There's almost 1,000 factory sounds with this. You got basses, drums, effects, and I'm like actually really impressed by the drum sounds in here. Like, let me just show you some of these drum sounds. I'm like, this is cool. I would definitely use this. Really cool drum sounds. Like, I'm like, whoa, like these animal kicks be awesome as layers for like big trailer music and things like that, right? For like drops, whatever. If you're into dubstep, EDM, hard stuff, hard style, you know, then you got kicks and you got everything like even 80s kind of vibes, reggaeton kind of stuff. Here's the typical reggaeton thing, right? Bam! You want reggaeton? Open it up, DR Snare 608. So that's kind of cool. And then you got all these pads, got these really beautiful things. So these are just a few stock sounds. I think the stock sounds are really cool. You can open it up and then tweak whatever you want on that. But then the user libraries is where this really gets powerful, right? So I'm going to just show you the website and kind of show you what you can do with this, because I think this is kind of the most exciting part about this synth for me, right? Is that you have a sound store here on Reveal. So when you go in here, you can see that there's presets, samples, templates, bundles, all sorts of stuff, right? So what I like to do is I like to go into like the presets zone. You can go into the samples. They've made samples. They're all like WAV files. But if you go into the presets, you can see there's Trance Essentials, Sensation, there's Metamorphose, Dystopia, Radiant, all these different styles of stuff. Like, you got retro pop. Like, let's check this out. Let's just see what this is sounding like, right? Like, these are things like they'll just give you the presets. So I'm gonna mute my microphone and just play this. So I can't play too much of that. I'm sure it'll get flagged on YouTube, right? But that's kind of like incredible to me, that you can just get these packs and then you can pop those in, and all of a sudden you got like, you just opened up this synth to a whole new world, right? So I got some in here like Retro Future that I'm just like in love with. I'm making some like kind of synth pop stuff. Amazing. It's got those 80s bass lines, those arps, the stuff like on the new Weekend album, like you're looking for those sounds, bam, done, right? I don't need to go searching through Omnisphere for 4 hours. Like, I literally can come in here, grab the pack, go through a few presets, tweak them a little bit, build my channel strip in Logic, and I got the sounds I want, right? So this is a really powerful synth. Highly recommend you guys check it out, and it's very affordable. I think it's under $200, and you're going to get all of the 940 factory presets, and they're always having sales and good deals on their additional packs. So go check it out. Let me know what you guys think about this plugin, and that's the breakdown. Get to work. Go make some music. Well, that's it. Reveal Sound has made a little baby that has other babies. You can get a bunch of sounds for those babies, put them in different diapers, etc. I don't know where I got onto babies with this stuff. I don't have baby fever. All right, but if you want to pick up Spire by Reveal Sound, it's very cheap, very affordable, and highly recommend it. Go back on the video, check out all the features, the 4 oscillators, all that good stuff. And if you love this kind of stuff, you want to learn more about music business, you want tips of the day on music business, audio engineering, music production, composition, etc., then definitely subscribe to the channel. And you can give us a little like here as well, or a comment. That would help us out a lot. Really appreciate it. Link in the bio to get more information on what we do here at Radium and to work with us. So thanks for tuning in. Peace.